what's up? Today's video is going to be my December haul, which includes all the Christmas books I got this year. I'm so excited to show you them, as well as my January TBR. So this is gonna be quite a video. Let's just get right on into this. I have quite a stack of books here. Some of them I got from Chelsea Dolling Reads from her doing an unhaul of her own books, and then I just snatched them on my way when we hung out the last time. So some of those are those, and I'm gonna start with that. Chelsea handed over A List of Cages by Robin Rowe. I actually read this at the very beginning of January. It was my first read of the year. If you follow me on Goodreads or on Twitter, I didn't like it, but you'll get more of that during my January wrap-up at the end of the month or at the beginning of next month. This is about a boy named Adam and a boy named Julian. In present time, Adam is a senior and Julian is a freshman, and they have history together in that a long time ago, at some point or another, Adam was assigned to be Julian's buddy in like elementary school, and just throughout the years they've intermingled in their lives. You catch up with Julian and he is going through a rough time. You don't really know exactly what's wrong or what's going on at the very beginning of this book, but as the story goes on you get to know what has happened in Julian's life. And Adam is just this happiest kid that could be, and he just wants to help Julian. He also happens to be the school therapist's assistant, so he happens to be the kid who goes and gets Julian for his therapy appointments every day. The next book that Chelsea handed over to me was The Mermaid by Christina Henry. Once there was a mermaid called Amelia who could never be content in the sea, a mermaid who longed to know all the world and all its wonders. Oh, once there was a man called P.T. Barnum, a man who longed to make his fortune by selling the wondrous and miraculous. Amelia agrees to play the mermaid for Barnum and walk among men in their world, believing she can leave anytime she likes, but Barnum has never given up a money-making scheme in his life, and he is determined to hold on to his mermaid. That sounds good. That sounds like what I wanted. That movie that I can't even think of. The music was great. The story sucked. That one? Which one was that? I can't even remember. That one. It sounded like I wanted that from this, or this from that. The next book that Chelsea handed off to me was The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. I don't even remember what this book is about, but it has been on my TBR probably since I started BookTube like 4 years ago. I'm pretty sure it's a fantasy about a princess, yes, named Leah, who is 17. Basically about her being rebellious is what I'm gathering. So I want to read this. The last book that Chelsea handed over to me through her unhaul was Daughter of Deep Silence by Carrie Ryan. I don't remember what this book is about, I just remember wanting to read it. Just 3 souls remain to tell the story of the deadly devastation of the luxury yacht Persephone, and 2 of them are lying. Oh, it's a revenge thriller. Yes! The rest of these books are all Christmas gifts from friends and subscribers, and just, I'm so grateful and happy, and I love Christmas. The first book I have here is American Street. Some of these books, like, I put on my wish list because I remember the cover, but I don't necessarily remember the topic. So, on the corner of American Street and Joy Road, Fabiola Toussaint thought she would finally find une belle vie, a good life. But after they leave Port-au-Prince, Haiti, Fabiola's mother is detained by U.S. immigration, leaving Fabiola to navigate her loud American cousins, and Detroit's West Side, a new school, and a surprising romance all on her own. Just as she finds her footing in this strange new world, a dangerous proposition presents itself, and Fabiola soon realizes that freedom comes at a cost. Wow. Yeah, I want to read this. So this was from Bethany from Beautifully Bookish Bethany, and she says, "Hi Cassie, I hope you love this book as much as I did. Happy holidays." So thank you so much, Bethany. I am so excited to read this book. It's beautiful, and it sounds amazing, so I am hoping that I love it just as much as you did as well. The next book I have here is from Chelsea Dolling Reads. So this is basically a Chelsea from Chelsea Dolling Reads video, and she got me The Girl in 60 by A.R. Torre. This book is about a girl who is like has serial killer thoughts, and so she traps herself in her apartment and doesn't let her leave, and then she does, if I remember correctly, she does like sex videos on the internet, like webcam videos. So it's gonna be like sexy and killery, and I'm into it. So thank you very much, Chelsea. This next book is Made You Up by Francesca Zappia, and I've heard this author is great, but I don't think I've read anything from her. And this is from Samantha over at SamanthaReading. Merry Christmas, friend. I'm so thankful to know you. Love you. Oh, thank you, Sam. I am so excited for this one. Just like, look at this cover too. So gorgeous. Armed with a take no prisoners attitude, her camera, a magic 8-ball, and her only ally, her little sister, Alex fights a daily battle to decipher what is real and what is not. After an extremely unfortunate incident, Alex is ready for a fresh start at a new school where no one recognizes her. Before she knows it, Alex is making friends, going to parties, falling in love, but her inability to separate her delusions from reality is always just under the surface, and it could have disastrous consequences for the people closest to her. Ooh! So this is a possibly schizophrenia contemporary, and I'm excited about it. The next book I have here is Under Rose-Tainted Skies, and this was from Amber from Ambitious Bibliophile, and she says, "Hey Cassie, this one has been on my shelves for a while thanks to Emma from Emma Books. I know she loves it and I hope you do too. Hoping we get to it soon. Sending all my love from Amber." Nora knows fearing everything from inland tsunamis to odd numbers is irrational, but she can't stop being afraid. She's even scared of her cute new neighbor Luke, but she's intrigued by him too. Despite the fears that keep her housebound, Nora begins a tentative friendship with Luke. Soon she doesn't know what frightens her more, the chance that they might fall in love or the possibility that they shouldn't. Luke is sweet, thoughtful, and kind. Doesn't he deserve a girlfriend who isn't so screwed up? This one also has just like a gorgeous cover. So this next one is also from Chelsea Darling Reads, because she spoils me, and it is The Female of the Species, and she actually wrote her note with this one and then the other one came later, and it says, "Cassie, I'm not sure if these books will be sent together." They were not, but I gave both of them 5 out of 5 stars, and I predict that you will love them as well. Merry Christmas. I can't wait to see you again in the new year. I can't wait to see you again in the new year. As I'm filming this, I'm gonna go see you later today. It's so exciting. So this book, I actually know what it's about. I think this book has a huge trigger warning for rape. 3 years ago, when her older sister Anna was murdered and the killer walked free, Alex uncaged the language she knows best, the language of violence. While her own crime goes unpunished, Alex knows she can't be trusted among other people. Not with Jack, the star athlete, who wants to really know her but still feels guilty over the role he played the night Anna's body was discovered. And not with PK, the preacher's kid with a defiant streak who befriends Alex while they volunteer in an animal shelter. And this is by Mindy McGinnis. I don't think I've read anything by Mindy McGinnis, but like every book that she comes out with, I think I own them because all of the synopses sound great. I just haven't picked one up yet. They intimidate me a little bit because like I already have this image in my head that I'm gonna love all of her stories, but like what if I don't? The next book I have here is Autobiography by Christina Lauren, and this book is from Spencer, and he says, "Cassie, girl, this book gave me all the feels. One of my favorite books in the history of the universe. I hope you find Tanner and Sebastian's story as magical as I did. Happy holidays, my friend." This book, I only had it on my wish list because Sam from SamanthaReading, it's her favorite book, and it sits on her shelf, and it's freaking gorgeous. And Chelsea also loves Christina Lauren. I just stare at the cover behind Samantha in her videos, and then I put it on my Amazon wish list. So thank you, Spencer. The next book I have here is Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant. This is from Becky from Coffee, Cocktails, and Books. It says, "Hi Cassie, I've heard nothing but love for this one. I'm hopefully reading it this month, but it sounds like such a fun read. I hope you love it too." From Becky. This book is about mermaids, but it's about mermaids who are terrifying. This group of scientists who go into the deepest part of that one trench that's like the deepest part on the earth, can't remember what's called, go in there and they're looking for mermaids, and it's like a horror/thriller story about these evil, dangerous, terrifying mermaids. And that shit freaks me out, but I'm ready. I'm so excited to read this. I'm so nervous to read this. I don't know when I'm gonna read this, but I'm glad I have it on my shelf to look at and wish I had the guts to pick it up. Thank you, Becky. I can't find the little note, but this is from Bex over at BexnBookx, and it's The Poppy War by R. Kwong. I don't know off the top of my head if this is an adult or a young adult fantasy, but it's a fantasy novel and it's based on Chinese folklore if I'm not mistaken, and I know that this story also has some huge trigger warnings for like violence and sexual violence if I'm not mistaken, and some crazy shit goes down in this book. I'm so excited to read this. I cannot wait. I've heard such amazing things about it, and so I really want to get to it soon. So thank you so much, Beck. And the last book I have here is from my Secret Santa group of the Bibliothon girls, and this year Kaz from Little Book Owl was my Secret Santa, and she bought me Bridge of Clay by Marcus Suzak, and like, if this isn't such a Kaz gift, then you guys don't know Kaz, and please go subscribe to her because she loves Marcus Suzak. So she wrote, "Merry Christmas, Cassie. I hope you enjoy your gift from Santa, Kaz." So thank you so much, Kaz. I'm so excited. I also love Marcus Suzak. He intimidates me. I read The Book Thief and it destroyed me, and this book is also pretty big, and I'm not sure off the top of my head if this is a young adult or an adult novel. Okay, here's a story told along inside out and back to front. The 5 Dunbar brothers are living with their menagerie of pets in their perfect chaos of a house made by their own rules. Today, the father who walked out of them long ago walks back in. And so the life of Clay, the quiet one with a harrowing secret, is about to change forever. He is the one who will build a bridge for this family, for his past, for greatness, for his sins, a miracle and nothing less. Ow! It sounds painful already! I'm not ready for this one, but thank you so much, Kaz. That's my haul. It was huge. Thank you so much to everyone who sent me a book. I hope everyone had a happy holiday over this last holiday season, and I'm just so grateful for everyone and for everything, and thank you so much. So moving right into my TBR for the month. Currently in the middle of Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. I'm on chapter 82 as of last time I checked. I'm listening to it on audiobook, so I am almost done with this. It's technically on my TBR. Me and Brittany's book find are buddy reading it, and we were supposed to finish it by January 1st, and that did not happen. And then I also had on my TBR A List of Cages, which I already finished. Next on my TBR is Arch Enemies by Marissa Meyer. This book is the sequel to Renegades by Marissa Meyer. It's a science fiction slash fantasy, I don't know, superhero book. And the first one follows a girl from the anarchy side, and she does not like how the Renegades run the government. And the Renegades are the superheroes who kind of made everything go from chaos to functional, and they have basically taken over and they run the government. They are the police force, and they, you know, keep the city safe and do all of the superhero great things for the regular general public. The group of anarchists that our main character, the female, is a part of, decides to send her in because nobody knows who she is, and she infiltrates the system in order to get intel and to destroy the Renegades. And that's like where the story starts. It has a very amazing slow burn romance in it. I'm so excited to see how that continues into Arch Enemies. I'm excited to see like what happens in Arch Enemies, because I feel like Renegades really revved us up into this moment, and we are going to get it in this next book is what I'm really hoping for. I also really love the superhero like powers in these stories, so I'm excited to see more of that. And this book is our quarterly book club for the Bibliobook Club, November through January, so we will be having a live show sometime in February for this book, so make sure to check it out and read it so that you can join us. The live show will be on the Bibliothon channel when it goes up. The next book I want to read is Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. I read this book a few months ago. I absolutely loved it, and me and Chelsea, who is officially a permanent host of the Sassy Book Club, decided to read this one since we both really love it, to start off our new endeavor of the Sassy Book Club together. So we are going to be reading this, and the live show will be February 1st at 7 p.m. PST. So make sure to put that in your calendars and read this book before then so that you can come join us for that. I love this book. I'm so excited to reread it, and it's gonna be a good time. So those are the only books that I have listed on my TBR, but I still need to do my Goodreads choices so that you can pick from the poll, and I need to do my TBR jar. So let's do my TBR jar first. I'm going to do the same thing I've done before, but if you notice, I actually redid these. So the color scheme mean something and I can't remember what they mean. They do mean something. I'm gonna pick 3 out and then I'm gonna have to read 1. So let's pick this one. So the first book I picked out is in pink, which means that it's a historical fiction or a classic, I believe. And I picked The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh, which is a retelling of 1001 Nights. This book is about a girl whose best friend is chosen to marry the king and then is murdered just like every other wife. And so she decides to purposely get chosen so that she can seek revenge. Book number 2. Let's do this one. Okay, so this is one of my new books that I just hauled, and this is Daughter of Deep Silence by Carrie Ryan, which is a revenge plot thriller. I think is what yellow must mean then. I feel like that's wrong, but okay. Okay, and number 3. And the last book that I picked out is The Apocalypse of Elena Mendoza, which is a sci-fi. This is kind of like magical realism. It's by Sean David Hutchinson. This is also one of my books that I got from, is it LitJoy Crate that does this? So it has his annotations in it, so that's really cool. That's one of the reasons that I'm excited to read this. So those are the 3 books that I get to pick from in the month of January. I have 482 books on my Goodreads page, my to read page. So I'm gonna do 482 on my random generator, 320, okay, 320, The Mask of Benevolence, Disabling the Deaf Community. Oh, this will be a good one. So this book is a nonfiction book, and it's all about how we basically look at the deaf community as negative because they can't hear, so how can they possibly like do anything? How the establishment of that happened. So really interested to read that, even though you guys probably won't be interested in making me read it. Let's generate a new number, 273. 273, Allegedly by Tiffany D. Jackson. Mary B. Addison killed a baby, allegedly. She didn't say much in that first interview with detectives, and the media filled in the only blanks that mattered. A white baby had died while under the care of a church-going black woman and her 9-year-old daughter. The public convicted Mary and the jury made it official, but did she do it? She wouldn't say. Mary survived 6 years in baby jail before being dumped in a group home. The house isn't really home. No place where you fear for your life can be considered a home. Home is Ted, who she meets on assignment at a nursing home. There wasn't a point to setting the record straight before, but now she's got Ted and their unborn child to think about. When the state threatens to take her baby, Mary must find the voice to fight her past, and her fate lies in the hands of the one person she distrusts the most, her mama. No one knows the real mama, but who really knows the real Mary? Sounds interesting. A new number, 287, is Under Rose Tainted Skies, which I just hauled. Under Rose Tainted Skies is the 3rd book on this option. So this was the one about Nora who isn't sure if her irrational fear about Luke, the cute new neighbor, is true, and she doesn't know if Luke deserves a girlfriend who is so screwed up. So that's an interesting one too. So that is the 3 books that you guys can vote on up in the corner. I can never remember which corner it is. I think it's this one. You guys can go vote on which of those 3 books that I should read for the month of January. So guys, go pick, and then I will read it, and it'll be a fun time. And I'm excited for any of those 3. 2 of them, one of them is nonfiction. I think the second one is fiction, but it sounds kind of like a historical, really deep and dark, fucked up. And then we have Under Rose Tainted Skies, which is a contemporary young adult, and it's also got a girl who has irrational fear. So going real serious with these 3 options, in all honesty, it seems like. So you guys tell me, which one should I read? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I make videos every Thursday and Saturday and sometimes Tuesdays. So I will see you guys very soon with a new one, but you can always hit that little notification bell if you want to be notified every time I post a video. And I'll see you guys soon with a new one. Bye!